A budget deal reached, and now comes the details. Governor Tim Walz and legislators struck a deal Sunday night. Reporter Meredith Hackler spoke with legislators from our area to get reaction. Meredith?
Shannon, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle had to compromise to come to an understanding. One thing that isn't going to be included in the budget is the controversial gas tax that was strongly supported by Democrats. Republicans said that that was a deal breaker. First-term Representative Ginny Clivorn says she was disappointed to not see that measure pass. She says that without a new form of funding, certain projects will only become more expensive.
We have engineering firms who want consistency in their work, and we need to be able to do these jobs when they are at their least costly. We're just seeing with the Rockford Road Bridge, as you well know, how the construction bid has now gone up. And the more we delay these projects, the more it costs us.
While DFLers compromised on the gas tax, they were able to get a 2% increase each year for the next 2 years for public schools. DFL leaders originally wanted a 3% increase. One item that many Republicans oppose but will stay under the budget deal is an extension of the medical provider tax at a slightly smaller rate of 1.8%. It pays for the cost of care for lower-income Minnesotans. Republican Representative Kristen Robbins of Maple Grove does not support the tax, calling it a sick tax.
Basically, the sicker you are, the more you're paying of the tax. So people who have really expensive treatments like cancer or, intensive surgeries or whatever, they are paying more of the tax. So it's very regressive. So I do think we need to provide adequate funding for health care, but I don't support this mechanism, and I was disappointed to see that they came out with that.
Now, while lawmakers did come to an agreement on Sunday, there is a taxpayer-funded special session expected to take place on Thursday, where lawmakers as well as Governor Tim Walz hope that a budget will pass. Live at the Capitol, Meredith Hackler, CCX News.
All right, thank you, Meredith. The budget also includes more funding for schools. Lawmakers approved $540 million in new spending for public schools and another $150 million for higher education. When you break down the numbers, it's about a 2% increase each year on the per-pupil funding formula districts use for their day-to-day costs. The Anoka-Hennepin School District wanted a 3% increase, which the governor had initially proposed. A spokesperson says there will most likely be reductions during the 2021 school year. Another boost to the area's increasingly growing med tech industry. An Ohio-based med tech company has announced it is moving to Plymouth. Venture Med Group employs roughly 25 people. The company develops medical devices to treat blockages in blood vessels. Venture Med expects to relocate over the next 3 months. For those who enjoy the ocean, or for those who have never experienced it, a business in Plymouth brings the ocean to them. As Corey Bork reports in this week's Business Matters, New Wave Aquaria not only does that, but teaches a lesson about marine life.
Who would have imagined that inside an industrial area of Plymouth is where you'll find the beauty of the seas?
And this is our rainbow aquarium.
But that's the case here at New Wave Aquaria. It's where you'll find the largest collection of saltwater fish and corals.
These are called acants.
In Minnesota.
They are also from Australia, and they come in all different colors. You can see in the back over here, you have bigger colonies.
The business is Jen Warner's passion.
It started in my apartment. So I had a little room where I would quarantine fish.
From her first aquarium to a business that now looks like a marine museum.
By the time I graduated high school, I didn't even have a bedroom. I turned my desk drawer into like a sump system, and I drilled through my desk, and I made this beautiful aquarium and had all the filters hidden. My mom was really mad.
From precious corals.
There's nothing like this in the wild.
To fish that come with names.
Her name is Clarice.
Clarice.
She just looks like a murderer from Silence of the Lambs.
But there's more here than meets the eye of the colorful fish.
With storms and global warming and all these other things, a lot of these species are being wiped out.
Warner has spent years researching and visiting places around the world to find out what makes fish tick.
The end game for me is for people to enjoy these fish for long periods of time. I don't want to take a fish from the ocean and then have it die. That's sad. So I want the longevity. I want people to maintain these fish like any other pet.
And in the process, preserve a part of the ocean.
We grow the corals in-house. We cut them into fragments, we let them heal, and then we resell them so that we can take one specific coral and share it with more people.
Warner guesses she has thousands of fresh and saltwater fish at her store. They even sell ornamental shrimp, but the top seller may surprise you.
coral sales are #1. It's where we differentiate from basically any other store.
All with a purpose in mind.
Several of our customers have never even seen the ocean, so coming here or having a fish tank allows them to have a piece of the ocean and also to gain an appreciation for the ocean, to see these animals and to say, okay, what can I do to help preserve, even in Minnesota?
For Business Matters, Corey Bork, CCX News.
And the price of corals varies greatly. A lot depends on how much color they have and how old they are. They can range from a couple of $100s to several $1,000s. They call it the Battle of the Badges. Plymouth and Maple Grove played each other for a friendly game of softball. And Saturday was not a good day for softball. It was rainy and cold. But that didn't stop local firefighters and police officers from trying to knock the ball out of the park. The Heritage Christian Academy Leadership Group put on the event as a way to show their support for public servants.
We have an impact project that we do at the end of the year, and we decided it's time for us to serve and thank the police and firefighters who serve and protect us every day.
At the end of the game, police, firefighters, and their families were treated to free sandwiches. And a reminder for you, of course, you can always check out more stories like this one on our website, ccxmedia.org. Go there and find out something new about your community.
The state True Team track and field meet was started back in the late 1980s by the Minnesota Track and Field Coaches Association as a way to more accurately reward team depth. The annual state meet took place over the weekend at Stillwater with the Wayzata boys and girls, Hopkins boys all competing in the meet. 12 boys teams, 12 girls teams vying for titles. Wayzata and anchor Patrick Leonard win the boys 4x800 meter relay at a time of 8 minutes, 8.88 seconds. Boys 110 hurdles, it's George Jackson in the white top winning his heat and the event at a time of 14.61 seconds. 100 meter dash state record holder Joe Fonbla of Hopkins pulls away for the win. His time 10.54 seconds. He also wins the 200 meter dash. Boys 4x200 meter relay. Cambridge Isani in blue is first. Hopkins comes in second place. Close finish in the boys 1600 meter run. Austin Stride of Mounds View wins, followed by Eli Haft of Hopkins. Andrew Brandt and Cameron Arkeston of Wayzata come in third and fourth place respectively. Girls highlights, Wayzata's Emma Atkinson pulls away to win the 800 meter run in 2 minutes, 18.43 seconds. Atkinson finished second in the 1600. Wayzata and anchor Teresa Bowman win this heat of the girls 4x100 meter relay in a time of 49.71 seconds. They finished third overall in the event behind Stillwater and Minnetonka. Here's what a couple of race champions had to say.
I just had to know I had to do what I had to do. My three teammates set me up as well as they could. I was really happy with what they did, and I just had to take it home.
So much fun, so much fun. It's better than actual state because I'm with my whole team. You know, at state there was like maybe a couple, like 20 guys, you know, who make it, but I'm with my whole team. Big teams are here, nice meet, nice day outside. So it's a full experience of a full track meet, I would say.
Here are the team scores from the Class 3A boys meet. Congratulations to Hopkins winning the state title. Wayzata, who won the last 6 state championships, finishes second. Mounds View, Rosemont, and Blaine round out the top 5. In the Class 3A girls meet, it's Rosemont winning with Wayzata finishing a close second. Stillwater is third with Alexandria fourth and Mounds View fifth. Ultimate Frisbee is a club sport for high schools in Minnesota, but it's pretty popular and growing fast. Here in the Northwest Metro, several local schools have very good teams. This past Friday, the Armstrong Gold Girls Ultimate Team faced Hopkins in the Northwest Metro Conference Final. It's a close match with Armstrong Gold coming out on top to win its second straight conference title.
I think it's been very special for me because I've felt like it's such a family, and I've just like grown to love this sport like so much, and it's just like once in a lifetime experience.
We've had a strong progression. A lot of these girls that are playing now have played with the team for 4 or 5 years together, and so that growing together as a team has really helped them get to the point where we've got 2 in a row.
The Ultimate State Tournament is June 1st and 2nd at the National Sports Center in Blaine. We are now to playoff time, and prep softball as section tournaments get underway this week. Maple Grove is the #1 seed in Section 5-4A with Champlin Park 2nd and Centennial 3rd. Then it's Rogers and Osseo. Park Center is the 8th seed. In first-round games Tuesday, Park Center is at Maple Grove. Osseo plays at Rogers with Champlin Park hosting Spring Lake Park. The second round is Wednesday and the third round Thursday at high seeds. The later rounds this year move to Zane Sports Park in Brooklyn Park. In Section 6-4A, defending champion Edina is the top seed. Bloomington Kennedy is second, followed by Hopkins, Wayzata, Southwest, and Armstrong. This tournament starts Monday with second-round games Wednesday and the third round Friday. This year, the entire tournament at Edina's Pamela Park. Medill St. Margaret's is the top seed in Section 6-3A. That's all for sports. More news in a moment.